Tangalooma Resort was a resort that my family and myself stayed at through the 70s. It came on the market in 1980 and we saw it for sale and we decided to buy it. The potential that we saw was mostly in the island rather than in the resort. The resort was very much a laid-back shacks and not much else, but the island itself had enormous attractions and an enormous future. Tangalooma started off as a family business, of course, with my wife and myself and my brother. All three of my children now are in the business with us, and over the last 15 years we've taken in 5 non-family members as directors of the company, and they're not just directors, they're also now part owners of the resort, of course. One of our directors, Mr. Jeffrey Breen, is our Chief Financial Officer. Jeffrey was employed for us by William Buck back in, I think, 1986. He looks after all our financial affairs and financial business.
Being offered that shareholding and the directorship was a huge vote of confidence. To get a chance to play a direct role in the future of the company, that was outstanding and humbling. Brian and Betty are very, very much entrepreneurial. It's their drive and their passion that has got the resort to where it is today.
35 years ago when we purchased the resort, the only buildings that were there were some staff quarters buildings and of course the whaling flensing deck. So pretty much everything that's there now is what we've built since we purchased the resort. We use our own airstrip and planes, our boats, our ferries and barges, and we've got 27 chefs. We have up to 1,000 or more guests from time to time that we have to keep happy, and that's a challenge on its own.
I don't know that there is one biggest achievement. There's been a lot of steps, and each one of those has taken us a step closer to where we are today.
I think the one thing that makes running a resort less difficult is to have the right people around you. Certainly the likes of William Buck, we certainly couldn't survive without them and without their advice.
William Buck have been critical. They've been our accountants and not only as our auditors but as financial advisors. I rely on them for advice. I don't keep up to date with all of the accounting standards and these sorts of things. They're an essential part of what we are. We try and focus on running a resort, and they're giving us advice in the background on all of the other issues. I consider William Buck a key part of Tangalooma.
I guess what I've liked with them is the continuity. They've just always been there when we need them. If we run into trouble, one phone call and they're sorting it all out.
Coming to work with Tangalooma certainly was a life changer for me, and I didn't foresee that at the time. And this is probably the most important part of my life, the last 30 years.